for you? Is that more upbeat?
That's heading in the right direction. That's a little more football-esque.
A little Quiet Riot.
That boy, Jim. Well, he took the bull by the horns.
Jim's got Quiet Riot on the computer. He's got all kinds of things over there.
He has magic.
He does. Welcome back to the Cheap Seats. Scott Kirby, Jake Johnston, broadcasting live. We are live. Christian Village. Live.
Coming at you from the Christian Village, Lincoln, Illinois.
Speaking of live, we have a live fantasy football draft coming up Saturday, August 31st, 11 to 1. The Cheap Seats and Logan Lanes Family Fun Center present fantasy football draft.
All right.
That's going to be at Logan Lanes Family Fun Center. They're going to have great specials, great prizes, and lots of fun. Be listening to WLCN 96.3 FM and go to WLCNonline.com and the Facebook page for more information, which we'll have up sometime this weekend, more details. But we're going to take the first 12 people to sign up. We're going to get a sign-up sheet going on the website.
I think I got 2 people already signed up. So
okay, so I got 1 guy, so that's 3. So next 9 to sign up, and we encourage any of our listeners in Lincoln and Logan County, if you want to come out to the bowling alley and watch. If you've never seen a fantasy football draft, come out and watch how it's done.
Come out, have some drinks.
Yeah, it's not going to be. It's going to be a. I don't want to say a watered down fantasy football, but
I don't believe in watered down drinks.
No, me either. But the fantasy draft that we're going to do, it's not going to be a full draft where you're drafting 20 players.
All right.
We're going to cut it to about maybe 11 or 12, and then have your regular starters. That just means there's going to be a whole lot of trading and dropping throughout the season.
All right.
So teams aren't going to be stacked where you got 3 or 4 guys on your bench that are good. They're going to be out there able to be picked up. And the reason we're doing that is just a little quicker format. A regular fantasy football draft lasts about 3.5, maybe 4 hours. We're going to try to do it in 2. Actually, I'm going to go out and meet with Sean at the bowling alley today and go over some details and get that all squared away and see, get some ideas from him. This was Joe Ryan's idea too, by the way.
Who?
Joe Ryan.
Joe?
He's not here today again. We saved a seat for him. I don't know where Joe's at.
Yeah, you might want to zoom in on that right there.
Joe, we'll have to get some kind of mannequin or something.
Yeah.
Set there.
I think I have something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring that for next week. That would be awesome.
Well, you're not going to be here next week, though, I'm told.
I'm going to be in Vegas.
Oh, wow. Well, speaking of next week, we're going to be
never hear what happens.
Yeah, we're going to be in Emden next week.
Oh, man.
For the ALS walk run at Stagger Inn. So you won't even be here. You'll be in Vegas.
Not going to lie. Last year, one of the best on-site shows we had.
Really?
It was, yeah.
Good time. I'm looking forward to it.
Good people. Nice crowd. Really nice crowd last year. Hoping for even more this year, in memory of Michelle Conradi Brown. So,
good.
That's
a good cause. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever been to Emden. I'm going to have to get directions.
No, you won't. No, sorry.
So
you know where Emden's at, correct?
It's over by Hartsburg, isn't it? I know where Hartsburg's at.
Boy,
And
that might need directions.
That's
Jim,
pretty.
You're gonna have to give him a ride.
That's pretty sad.
Hey, Joe, can you give him help here? I mean, this is maybe the first time ever Joe is more knowledgeable than you.
I don't know, because look at the look on his face. Maybe he doesn't know where Emden's at.
He knows where Emden's at.
I know.
Hey, he's a farm kid from way back.
I'm going to catch some grief on this, but I really don't think I've ever been to Emden.
That's right. It's Scott Kirby.
Yeah. I know it exists. I just never been there. I don't know anybody over there, or I'm sure I do, but I've never been there. But I'm going to be.
You're going to be introed right there at the Stagger Inn, because the place is phenomenal.
I heard it's a great place. We had some friends go over there a few weeks ago, and great food, great drink specials.
It's really nice. It'd be nice for a bigger town, Bloomington or anywhere. It's a really nice place.
I'm looking forward.
And on top of that, the people there are phenomenal, and like we had already mentioned, great cause. So
well, maybe you should miss your Vegas trip, and I'm going to give you $5. I want you to put $5 on black for me.
You don't want to do that with me.
No.
I can win you some money, but not on that. I lost $300 some bucks in one round on that.
Oh, wow.
Still hurts.
Well, if I had a furniture business, I would be gambling a lot too. All that money rolling in.
Wow.
Just going to Vegas. What for? I don't just going to Vegas.
No, my
is there some kind of
pool team.
convention?
My pool team's going out there.
Your
actually.
pool team?
Yes.
What's a pool team? Like your
you
shooting pool or swimming in a pool?
There's these swimming in a pool. Have you seen me? For everybody watching live on YouTube,
Jake in his Speedo going to Vegas.
Going to
with
Vegas.
his pool team.
And unfortunately, I'll be in my Speedo, but we're playing pool on a table.
Oh, okay.
So,
you gotta.
Which is really going to be awkward because it gets chilly in those places.
In a Speedo playing pool on a table.
Pool on
yeah.
table.
No, so you got a pool team. Are you a good pool player?
I am not. However, the team is good. So
you
they
like
keep me
are you
around
an
for
alternate?
comic relief.
Are you an alternate?
Exactly.
I
I am strictly comic relief. I am there for a couple of my buddies that we're gonna find out what else there is to do in Vegas.
Well, how does one get?
And I'm probably gonna lose my best friend Chad.
Well, how do you get involved in a pool team that's traveling to Vegas? I mean, you have to.
Oh, they're quality. No, I'll
qualify and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to win a few tournaments and qualify, and then win the tournaments, and then all of a sudden you got to raise some money to go to Vegas. So
that's awesome.
They're from Wapella, the Irish Circle over there, and
Wapella.
That's
over by Clinton.
Oh my gosh, he's never heard of it. Again,
that's over by
Kirby
Clinton. That's right on 51. I've been through Wapella.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah. They got a pool place over in Wapella?
Yeah, a couple of them.
Nice. Well, that sounds like fun.
Well, yes. Basically, anything I'm involved in is going to be a pretty good time. So,
that's true.
And this little trip to Vegas will be no exception.
Well,
I'm just hoping the red and blue lights aren't seen too much.
Well, it sounds like fun. And Joe, if you're listening, I'm going to need you next week because Jake's going to be gone, and I don't want to sit on her by myself.
Joe, Ryan,
and
please
ramble.
report to Emden.
Yep. And I'm going to need a ride too, Joe, because I don't know where I'm going. So if you're listening, okay, I need a ride.
Joe's still shaking his head over here. He can't believe he knows something you don't know.
Well, that's not good. Let's talk some football for the next 20 minutes here.
All right.
Preseason kicked off Thursday. Well, actually, there's a game last weekend, the Hall of Fame game.
Bad.
Real bad.
Bad.
Which is always going to be bad because the teams have only been in camp for maybe a week and a half.
Yeah.
And you're throwing them out there on national TV.
You don't even know what you got yet.
No.
And you see injuries. Last night you saw some injuries in the Bears game.
Some key injuries.
And Philadelphia game as well. So, list off a couple of those key injuries.
Henry Melton went out with concussion.
Yep.
I don't know the extent of it. Anytime you get a head injury and have concussion symptoms, they're going to pull you out, and you have to be evaluated by a non-team doctor.
Mm-hmm.
It's a doctor that specializes in concussions, and until he clears you, you're out. So Henry Melton can be out for a month.
Yeah,
depending on the extent of the injury. Some other injuries.
And the thing is, you can't just
that's
clear
the one I know of.
You can't just clear it. You can't just say, okay, I feel better.
Yeah.
No, you've got to pass these tests with a whole bunch of different stimulation things that if you don't pass any of them, you're not playing. I mean, you have to pass them all.
That makes you wonder. I mean, concussions are a big thing right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, baseball just came out with a 7-day DL.
Yeah.
To about concussions, basically, which is something I never heard of.
So even just 5 years ago, 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago in football, just think about all the concussions that these players have had.
Oh yeah.
But back then they called, I got my bell rung.
Yep. That's exactly right.
You go in, you get your bearings back on the sidelines, and boom, you're back in. And that's why there's a lot of studies right now.
Well, Junior Seau committed suicide. They linked it to his concussion.
Well, was it? I don't want to say a wrong name. Dave Duerson for the Bears.
Duerson, yeah.
Same way, and just and
there's been countless other guys. Now in Seau's case, he actually committed suicide.
Right.
But they said he had the brain injuries he had was messing with all different parts of his brain. It wasn't just pain, sensory, and this and that. It was a lot of different things, and they think that the concussions actually pushed him because his brain wasn't functioning properly.
Yeah.
So they actually dissected his brain to go through it, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard. But why not? I mean, and somebody like him who obviously was a unbelievable player. I mean, there wasn't too many teams that wish they had him on their team as their middle linebacker. He was the guy.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty interesting. Football and other sports are all taking a very conscious effort to make sure that they can save the players as much as they can.
And there's nothing that you can do to prevent a concussion.
No.
You can go out and do all the studies you want and make a better helmet.
Yep.
But the simple fact is, it's still that sudden movement shifting in the brain.
Yep. It could be a slap to the ear hole.
Yeah.
And if it hit you just right, and your neck wasn't turned right.
That's why Milton. I don't know. I don't see what happened. It was the first play of the game. Well, no, it was defense. He was on defense, and it didn't even. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And it was just weird.
Yep.
All of a sudden, he's on the sideline with a concussion. So I don't know. They don't look at those things. They don't take those things lightly these days. And
how do you feel about our first round draft pick, Howie Long?
Howie Long? Well, we almost had Howie Long. The rumor has it back in the day, but Kyle Long, he played a lot the second half. He didn't come out with the first group.
Yep.
And he's still raw.
Yeah.
And you could see that.
Big, strong guy.
Big, strong guy, athletic.
And fast, yeah.
But still has to work on technique. He got driven back a couple of times. But I'm pretty impressed with just being how raw he is and the inexperience he has. He only started 5 games for Oregon.
Yeah.
And, still in work in progress. A lot of people say he's going to be the starting guard over James Brown when the season starts.
Ooh. Well, I mean,
you know who I don't like? And they just have to get rid of him because he's going to get Cutler killed. That's Webb. Jamarcus Webb. Once again, last night got burnt, and Jake took a beating.
Yeah.
I don't know what they see in this guy. I mean, I can say that sitting, right here, get rid of him. I'd never say it to his face because he's about
he's a lot bigger.
6'8", 400 pounds.
Together.
He'd have to catch me, though.
He's about Joe's height.
I just run around him the way he blocks. But they have got, I don't know, they got to shore up. And that was at right tackle he got beat. That's not even the blind side.
Nope.
That's the weak spot.
Well, that's the best part about Cutler is his ability to evade. So it's going to have to come into play with like you said, Jamarcus Webb, who actually seemed like he had moments last year where it was getting better, and you're almost thinking, you know what?
I don't know.
And then all of a sudden, boom. Cutler gets blown up. So
so I don't know. We'll see. But I was impressed with Long. Really impressed with John Bostic.
Okay.
Did you see him play at all? The middle of filling in for Urlacher. Yes, I know it's preseason. His first game, he's out of Florida.
Yep.
Florida Gator. Had an interception for a return. He looks solid back there. Yes, I know it's preseason.
It's preseason, yeah.
And he's got some big shoes to fill in Urlacher, but the kid's athletic, and he looks like he's a smart player.
Yeah.
He was where he was supposed to be. Yeah, he's going to go through some growing pains. He's going to mess up. But
let's face it, last year Urlacher wasn't Urlacher.
No.
I mean, he was a shell of what he used to be. He's still was he still effective? Yes, but he wasn't the Brian Urlacher we knew. He wasn't going sideline to sideline making upfield tackles. He was making them 5 yards deep.
Right. He was effective because he made sure everybody was in the right position.
Exactly.
He was a play caller. Now his play was actually diminished because his knees and his age. But as far as being a leader on the field, that's where you miss Urlacher. Now if Lance Briggs can step in there and take over and be that leader where you can talk to Bostic where he needs to be, and he did that last night. They showed a couple of shots of Briggs over there talking to Bostic, kind of coaching him up a little bit. That's what you need. You need a veteran out there putting these kids in the right position and making them feel good about themselves, have some success where it just kind of builds up. And another kid, that Green from Rutgers, he looked good last night, another linebacker, and he can play any 3 positions.
Yeah,
he can play Walt,
he could be fun
Mike,
to watch.
or Sam. And his position right now is probably going to be that weak side linebacker, outside linebacker. But I don't know. It's they got some receivers looking pretty good.
Alphron Jeffries, I think
Marshall didn't play last night because he had that off-season surgery on his hip. They're just trying to,
Sounds like he's ready though.
He's ready. Yeah, he looks good. We went to training camp. When did we go? Wednesday before last.
Okay.
And he looked good running his routes, but they're just being cautious. It is a preseason game,
and he's not the younger guys either.
No.
I mean,
he knows what he's doing.
He knows how to take care of his body and whatnot.
Yeah. Cutler played a full quarter. Well, not by choice because his first pass was an interception. So that probably got a lot of Bears fans up in arms. But once again, it's preseason. Yeah. A little miscommunication, I think, between him and Jeffries. He thought Jeffries was going to cut out or come back a little bit more, and he threw on the opposite shoulder. An easy pick, but nothing to be concerned about. It's going to be some growing pains, a new offense. It's going to take time to learn. But I don't know. It's kind of hard to. It's hard
to evaluate in a preseason game. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of the same way. That's why I said it's just bad. Mm-hmm. It's really bad football, but it is kind of nice to see him out there in pads,
right?
And get him to do something.
And just you just said it right there. That's probably the first time they've really hit and had contact, because they're not doing a whole lot of hitting in practice.
Correct. Yeah.
Not game speed, and this is about maybe half to 3/4 game speed. It's nothing like it's going to be on opening day, but it's still hitting, wrapping up.
Was there anybody else that you were impressed with that
They had a couple cornerbacks. That McInnes trying to make the team. I think it's between him and Bowman. He looked pretty good. Their safeties. Harden. He hasn't played for 2 years. He was hurt all last year. That Washington, that beast of a defensive end. Did you see him at all? 78 or 76. They're really high on him. They got him like the 6th round. They said that's a steal. He just, he just looks huge, and they need somebody to take the place of Israel Donajee, because that's a big loss right there.
Where'd he go? Detroit or Minnesota?
I think he went somewhere in the division.
Yeah,
but Peppers didn't play last night. The starters were limited.
Yep.
And
you're not going to get a whole lot from them because you don't know who they're playing against either, because half of them are fill-ins, and then they'll bring in some of the rookies in different spots just to see how they play with other guys. And it's fun to watch, like I said, because it is football, but at the same time you don't get a whole lot out of it.
No, and they're going to have some decisions to make, and that's a good problem to have.
Yep.
They got their receiving core, I think, is pretty deep. That Wilson looked good. Aroma Shadu, looked good.
I'd be leaning on him.
Yeah, and you're gonna Bennett. He's out with concussion right now. So one of those younger kids are gonna make the team, or at least stay on the practice squad if somebody else doesn't pick them up. Which, there's receivers dropping like flies right now.
All across
the NFL, just injuries, torn ACLs, Achilles tears, and torn hamstrings. I don't understand it. Maybe PEDs do come into effect because their bodies aren't healing and they're breaking down. I don't know. It's just speculation.
I tell you what,
it seems like there's a whole lot of injuries right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like you said, it's widespread. It's not one or two teams. No. It's pretty much all of them. So,
and a good deal of Philadelphia's taking a beating. They've lost some key players. And
yes, Michael Vick didn't look too bad though last night. No. Again, you can't tell nothing.
Yeah,
because it's preseason. But I'm not a very big Michael Vick fan. But he had a good game. So. Yeah. Maybe that gives them a leg up in that competition they have in Philadelphia.
Right. Well, Jake, it's 10 o'clock. That means our show is coming to an end. And just like that, boy, we talking football. It's just time flies.
Absolutely.
That was a quick 20 minutes.
Where do we email again for the
well, we're gonna go to the website, WLCNonline.com, and the Facebook page. And Jeff's going to, what do they call you, Jeff 263, something like that. It's G off, actually, but he's going to have it set up to where you just click a link and there'll be a registration form there. Now, if you sign up, you have to be present. It is a live draft, so don't sign up if you can't make it the 31st, August 31st, 11 roughly till 1 out at Logan Lanes.
That'll be a good time.
When you sign up, you said you already have a couple people signed up. I know I have one. one or two that want to sign up. So there's 4 spots right there. So we only have 8 left, and I got a pretty good feeling that they're going to fill up pretty quick.
Yeah, they won't.
And we're trying to get a lot of people out to the bowling alley to watch, partake. There's going to be some good prizes, some good specials on whatever they decide to have specials on. I don't want to speculate, and then
Yeah.
No, we're not having a special on that. But yeah, get on Logan Lanes. But if you sign up, just please make sure you can be there to draft a team. And then once it gets going, we'll have more details details online that you can go and see, the format of the draft. So
Absolutely. All right.
Well, thanks for tuning in to Cheap Seats. Scott Kirby, Jake Johnston. We will be at Stagger Inn next Saturday. You'll be in Vegas. Pulling
baby.
Hangover 3.
It'll be number 4 for
4.
me. What?
Is there a Hangover 3, the movie?
There is, actually, this summer.
All right, take a camera with you. We'll film Hangover 4.
There will be no
in Vegas.
There will be no evidence.
So tune in next week. Same time, different place. Stagger Inn, Emden.
Good day
for the ALS.